I think, like everybody else, when it comes to Inaros Prime, the fact that he has more health and a quicker sprint speed is going to be kind of huge. The relics that he drops from is the Axie W1, Lith M6, Meso I1 and the Neo T3. You can actually just come in and search for them and they will tell you where these actually drop on the relics themselves. One thing I did keep missing when talking about this in the update video is they can also drop from the Orb Valus bounties. One thing I'm really glad of, unlike the normal systems, the Prime systems doesn't need Argon Crystals, because for some reason I only have one. Since I have a resource booster going and 1 will drop as 2 and 2 will drop as 4 because it doubles everything, not really sure how I ended up with 1. That's a physical impossibility. I just saw the Prime Neuroptics, yes. For those who, while I was seeing that, are jumping to the comments section, I guess I have more farming to do before I can actually build these, but does need 2 Niatan extract and 2 Argon Crystals. Seems to be the hardest things in here to actually get. 6 Neuroptics, that number goes up with every new frame that comes out. And Tellurium, that stuff drops way better now than it used to before. 12 hours per part, 3 days. Yes, yeah, 12 hours per part and 3 days once you actually can put the frame together for this. Now, normal Inaros Prime, big difference comparing them in here. It is completely pointless because one is max level and one is 0. Obviously he comes with a dash polarity, 2D polarities and a V, the dash for the aura. I do wish that this aura was actually universal, because more than likely it'll be corrosive projection, because rage on him is a no-brainer. What I would love to do is physique, which increases max health by 90%, which doesn't show here. It only kicks in at the start of a mission, which would be a great and is a great mod to run on him. Obviously putting the Umbra mods in will work even better. As we all know, Inaros' first ability basically gives you health. No. If you use his 4th ability to get your shields. That was not max, but that was a lot of health lost instantly, and it will gain you a little bit of health if you can hit enemies with it enough. Devour basically does a similar kind of thing, but on a much smaller scale. And, well, Sandstorm basically lifts them up and throws it round. Kind of like Zephyr's ability, but if you stand close enough to an edge, you can basically drop them off the end. Goodbye! Until you run out of power. And then you can run away and start finishing your Scarab Shield, because, well, that's kind of really important to have. Really important to have. He is basically great at getting health, because you can literally just grab an enemy, set them into Devour, which is proving to be a bit hard, and eat them. And this will get you your health back, and while you're doing it, top right, you're actually invincible. So what I was trying to do here, for the record, was grab an enemy, set myself to Devour. This will continue until the enemy is basically out of health, and while I'm standing here doing this, the random person standing behind me using the arc gun, all the enemies are going to stop at me, who is invincible, for now, until that health bar has gone. And I'm basically playing decoy here, which works wonders right up until that moment. And then they will come back to life and fight alongside you as a sand monster. You can see it, the sandy one there. That one works for us, and I'm going to go back to using this. This is also one of the best ways to actually level up a frame. Use the abilities. Well, if you can get in a situation like this, you can use them all. Or you can just, and I can't stress this one enough, picking them up and throwing them off the side. Oh, wait for it to all die down there. So much fun. Because over they go, and off you go too. Anyone else? Anyone else? Over he's come. I'm gonna go over there, grab some of them. Don't have enough health to get... Oh, some of them went over, but then I ran out of power. So with the same kind of health mods, normal Inaros, 5,830 health, whereas Inaros Prime, as expected, 7,130, and does have the physique aura on, so that, in fact, goes higher. Though, not by much. 7,200 and... well, don't know, I took damage, but... when you use his shield, you can actually create it to 100% and have about the same armor that normal Inaros has. Well, the same health. The Prime, well, the added bonus, apart from the fact he has way more health, is you can touch this and get 100 health. Again, 100 energy. But only if you haven't gone near them before, in the void. Apart from that, he's basically just normal Inaros. Just slightly better. And I mean slightly better. Because the whole Prime thing comes down to the fact that, well, you can come to these things and get your health back. I said, why do I keep saying health? I think I'm health obsessed because it's an Inaros Prime. It's energy that you get back from these things. The orbs in the void. Any orb. It also works in the derelict. You get health back from that. For some reason, since I made the video on the Inaros Prime, it has straight up sucked. I did something that broke it rather badly. Oh, I need more health. This time I do mean health. And it is any orb will give you 100 power. Even if you aren't able to use that 100 power, it will still give it to you, which is kind of wasteful, to be fair, because I don't have flow in this or anything else, because it's just not needed. Well, it is needed, I just haven't used it, which I probably should do. More so if doing void missions, because there's another 100 power wasted. There's another 100, I believe there's an orb over here. There's another 100. So wasteful. Since one of his best abilities is Scarab Swarm, this basically creates a swarm around you using your health, even though it says it uses energy as the drain for this, not forgetting of course the passive, which when in bleed out he becomes entombed and you can draw health from nearby enemies. And being the Prime version does have this special Prime tomb that, I don't know if I caught it on video, but it swapped from the standard colours to the colours of the frame partway through. Well, before I respawned anyway. But he is a improved version of normal Inaros. He is kind of worth it. He is definitely worth it if you kind of primary Inaros, but he just... I think it just comes down to the fact that everybody was expecting Nezha Prime to come, not Inaros Prime to come. I'm not going to say a bit of a letdown, because he wasn't. I've had him on for nearly 2 weeks, a week and a half, and I don't think I've gone down that often with him equipped. When soloing certain missions, I've gone down, I think it's about 4 or 5 times in total in like a week and a half. He survives very well because he has a lot of health, and the Sentinel was able to replenish that health, which made him just that little bit better to use. But, well, Nezha hype is getting kind of real now, so here's hoping more comes out on that and we see Nezha soon, because Nezha Prime has to be something special. Inaros Prime was better, but it's still just Inaros. It's still got an insane amount of health though. But we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.